This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you in part by the Naperville Sun.
Well, Vickie, a busy week for you guys. 3 matches and then a tournament on Saturday. Is this something where you think you help prepare your team for the rest of the season with a busy week like this?
Yes, it conditions them. It allows them to see what's going on with the other teams, how competitive they need to be, what edge they need to have in going into the various competitions.
And you guys go to Rockford on Saturday. How big is a trip like that for something where you guys are trying to build that team camaraderie? I imagine an hour bus ride there and back has to help too, right?
Oh, it does, most definitely. This year, with the team, they have to travel together, especially when we go to competition to and from. And since it will be an even smaller group, we do have a small group as it is, but since it's only the varsity squad traveling at this time, it's even a much more close-knit. You can't help but like each other, and if you don't, then it's a love-hate relationship. But and part of it, you get to know each other, and building that camaraderie, as you said, it helps them to support each other and motivate each other to do that much better.
What's it been like to kind of see this team grow? I know for the first season for you guys playing varsity, it was a little rough. Last year, you guys really kind of climbed up there, 3rd in the conference, 7th at a very tough sectional, and then this year you've been beating some teams here early. What's it been like to kind of see that process?
It has been phenomenal. A lot of the girls, we started out 4 years ago with 6 girls, one of whom was the only competitive bowler, had the competitive experience. We lost her last year to graduation, and now having our 6 seniors helping to mold and grow the other girls, and having two newcomers. We're hoping to get more. However, with bowling not being, out there as a sport, a lot of people don't realize it, or they don't get into this kind of a sport until much later. Some are intimidated to come. So with this group, it's been an awesome trip so far. I have high expectations for them. They have a lot of potential, especially when they actually work together. It's been awesome. It really has been.
How much would you say your job has changed as a coach? Maybe what you do day to day. When you talk about at the beginning, you have a group of 4 to 6 girls who only one have bowled competitively before, where now you have a group that's had 2 or 3 years in this competitive bowling environment like this. How much has your day-to-day changed?
It has changed tremendously. In the past, it was always a lot more hands-on, a lot more of the coaching. It seemed like I was in their ear a lot. However, now with a much more seasoned varsity level especially, it's more of just watching, having them talk to me, having them give me feedback of what's going on, both physically, mentally. The biggest challenge is trying to develop their mental game. With the maturity level, some of them aren't as mature as bowlers, so the frustration, the desire to be perfect and throw that perfect ball each time they go up, it does get to be frustrating. So it's more of the coaching that mental game more than anything now.
Was it maybe one of those things where at the beginning, you mentioned now you're doing the mental, you were maybe focusing on the physical, where certain things are in the ball swing and stuff like that, where now maybe they're adjusting to different things in their environment, an oil pattern or,
Yes.
Some competition like that?
Yes, exactly. Some of the girls didn't understand the whole game of bowling, from throwing to an actual mark, not aiming at the pins, to the lane conditions changing, oily, not oily, dry, wood, synthetic, the type of equipment to be used. All of that was such a huge factor and not understandable until now. And with growing and learning about the game, they have developed that. So at the beginning, it was more the fundamentals. What is it that happens on that lane with that piece of equipment? And then now, it's so much different.
Jordan Newham kind of burst on the scene as a freshman last year. You had mentioned when we were talking earlier that you expected some big things about her because you had heard so much about her. What was it like kind of seeing her fulfill some of those expectations last season?
It actually was really nice to see. With her being a freshman, with the younger group, it's always kind of challenging to see exactly where they will be in that maturity level. Not only just because she's a young player, her maturity level is so strong, but she's still working on some things. With her being such a perfectionist, that's hard to adjust to, and coming out of that. So she's even grown as a person, I think, with a team environment. But with her expectations and my expectations, I think that we've meshed well together. I'd like to think we have. And now it's just watching her fine-tune her game.
Is she somebody that's kind of emerged as a sophomore as possibly one of these leaders? I know, as far as pinfall and everything, her game continues to get better, setting the personal record with the series earlier this week.
Yes.
What's she kind of like, on these practice days like this, working with some of her teammates?
Oh yes, most definitely. That's one of the things that we encourage our girls to do, because there are 12 of them. There are only 2 of us coaching. We can't be in 12 places at the same time. So we tell the girls, they know what the lane conditions are. They know what's going on the lanes better than we do. So with that being said, we encourage them to talk to each other, ask each other what's going on, what they can do better. Because some of them have the same style, some of course varying styles as well, but finding and helping each other, I think that's also helped all of them to grow as bowlers.
You mentioned you got a handful of seniors on this squad that are helping kind of mold the identity of this team. Who are some of the girls in that group that have kind of exceeded some of your expectations?
Vickie Ream, she came to us last year, transferring in from Oswego. Didn't bowl her sophomore year, but then as a junior started back up with us, and she's really helped the team come along. Nikki Mendoza, one of my other seniors who started with me as a freshman, she's really has brought that nurturing aspect to the team. I have Tova Raymond, who kind of helps to lighten the mood, along with Katie Clausen. They're all just a wonderful bunch of girls. They're not only are they good as bowlers, but as just individuals, they really help shape and mold and bring that personality to the team.
What's it kind of like being in this sectional that you guys are in, year out? Obviously the program's not very old, but you have so many established, very good bowling programs that you guys are competing for one of those shots to state. What's it like kind of being in that pressure cooker?
I don't feel like we have a lot of pressure. Just because a lot of the teams are established, a lot more pressure is on them. And watching that with my girls, it's kind of trying to tell them that there isn't that much pressure at all. We're the underdog. We're not expected to do as well because we are a younger team. And so it's, what do we have to lose? The other teams seem to have a lot more to lose than we do. Stakes are getting to change. They're starting to change. The tide is changing for us. So the expectation, I'm sure, is going to start to shift. But I think our biggest frustration now is that because a lot of teams are established, they're establishing a lot more of the tournaments that we can't get our foot in because slots are filled, time is filled. So we're getting a lot of these other types of tournaments. So now we're playing the patience game. We're waiting to see, we're trying to make our mark so that maybe once the door does open, someone will remember us and have us come and join their tournament, their invitationals.
You guys have had a very good start to the season. What does this team need to keep doing to keep that success going?
Oh my goodness, just keep what they're doing, just constantly encourage each other, want to grow, have that motivation to do better, not for just themselves, but for the team. I always tell them yes, it is an individual game, but ultimately we are a team, and we are only as good as our teammate is. So with that in mind, helping that encouragement, helping them to boost each other up, I think that's helped a lot.
Well, Vickie, thanks for letting us come by, and
Thank you.
good luck with you guys knocking down the pins.
Thank you very much.